Well, if you're like me, sometimes when I'm trying to research or look up and try to find resources to be able to help me, I end up getting stuck in this quagmire called the internet. So it kind of goes like this, right? I'm looking for best practices or some sort of research on a particular topic. I go out to the internet and I start doing a Google search. And before I realize it, I've gotten sucked in and I've spent a lot of time. I mean, it's rare that it'll be like 30 minutes. It's probably more like an hour or two by the time that you all of a sudden get all the different clicking and things like that. So, as a chief audit executive, how do you get the resources that you need? Well, I'm putting together a group of chief audit executives from all around the world into a new chief audit executive roundtable. And it's going to be a private, exclusive, and confidential group of only chief audit executives. So you can share best practices, ask questions, and get answers, as well as get support from others in the group. And we're going to be working on solutions and thought leadership content to be able to lead the profession of internal auditing, but also to help you do your job easier. I realize you don't have a bunch of time to be searching around to try to find information. And so, one of the things this roundtable is going to do is help curate and develop content that is relevant to the group. So, if there's certain things you've been trying to work on, others in the group are as well. We're going to be able to pull together those resources and create solutions to be able to help you find what you need. Now, besides that, not only will you get to network with other chief audit executives, but actually build deeper relationships. And again, I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of times when I would go to conferences or I might meet somebody online, the relationship was really kind of at a superficial level. And this environment is going to allow deeper relationships with people like you. And so it's an opportunity, again, that you can reach out to the community and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Does anybody else have resources on this? And so what we're going to be able to do is collectively as a group, find out if somebody already has the answer. If they do, then we're going to get the answer quicker without having to waste a bunch of time on the internet or calling individually different people that you know to try to see what they're doing there. Now, the other thing is, if the group doesn't know, I'm going to find somebody who does, or we're going to develop new content to be able to help meet that need. So it's a great environment to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, as well as get new ideas. Because I realize that sometimes you get stuck in the day-to-day operations. There's lots of things going on, lots of people that are pulling on your time. And, because of that, a lot of times you're working just to try to get by from day to day. Another thing this is going to help you do is to be able to raise your sights up and think more strategically and be able to apply some of these things that other groups are doing. If we don't take an opportunity to step back from what we're doing, all of a sudden, a week goes by, a month goes by, a year goes by, and we realize that we haven't really made progress like we were wanting to. And so one of the things this is going to do also is it gives some structure and kind of forces you, if you will, to actually think strategically as a chief audit executive. So you can remove yourself for a few minutes and think each month about what you want to accomplish and how you need to get there. And then again, if there's resources or help that you need to be able to get there, you've got this collective group that is there to add support and provide you with resources that they have to be able to help you get to where you want to get. Because I know we're all really busy, but by having a group like this that is committed to each other and committed to the profession, it really is a place where we can go and get best practices, solutions, and thought leadership without having to search around and waste a bunch of time. There's actually going to be a repository where you can actually go into to be able to download some of these resources. as well as there's going to be a private group. Now, let me talk about that just for a minute, because I know sometimes, there's things like LinkedIn, which are great tools for us to be able to connect with other people and have discussions. But I know sometimes people hold back in some of those discussions because honestly, it's in the public view, right? I mean, what you post out on LinkedIn publicly, anybody and everybody can see. So what that means is sometimes we hold back, especially if we need some help, because we don't want other people to know about that. Or sometimes there's concerns that other people may be watching, even your employer. And so you don't want to say things in a public forum that could come back and have a negative impact on your career. So another thing this group is going to do is we're going to have a private discussion group area. And so all of the discussions that are in there will be private and confidential. No one else except this group will actually know what it is. So you can feel safe in that environment of actually sharing and asking for resources and things that you need to do to be able to do your job as a chief audit executive. Get the support that you need without having to waste a bunch of time. So I'm really excited about this. If you are interested in finding out more information, just send me an email or look down below. There'll be some links as well where you can go out and actually apply for membership in the Chief Audit Executive Roundtable. So again, if you're interested in finding out more information, just send me an email and I'll get you the link.